Hello everyone, welcome to week number 3. And before I start going over the work items for you for week number 3, let me tell you a little bit about my observation. It seems to me quite a good number of you actually have been left behind in terms of following the lectures and also Java tutorial videos just by looking at the views, the number of views on the YouTube videos. Let me just say that it's an online course. It's a difficult time for all of us, including you and me. And you might be the only person who can push yourself to really catch up with the weekly tutorial videos and also the lecture videos. As I said, in the very beginning of the semester, I try to keep the lecture videos around 2 hours, maybe plus minus about 15 minutes, 5 minutes every week. And similarly for the tutorial videos, only the first week is a little bit heavier than usual. But starting from the second week, I already try to respect the expected length for both the lectures and also tutorial videos. So you can think about every week for lectures, you got 2 hours, maybe about 6 videos, and also similarly for the tutorial Java tutorial videos, you also got 2 hours, also 6 videos. So in total, you got 12 videos in total to watch. I would say it might be your last option to really try to watch all the 4 hours and 12 videos in one day, or you only wait until maybe one day before the written test or programming test to actually do it. It's highly not recommended. All right. Again, as I said, you're the only person who can really be responsible for your choice, and then you're the only one can push yourself. That's all I have to say. I'm just trying to say, try to really maybe do 1 or 2 videos at least per day. So studying your materials in a steady pace will be the best for your learning outcomes achievement for this course, right? So now we're moving to about 1/4 of the course. I think things will get heavier and heavier. So, and also for your other courses as well. So I think maintaining some good discipline in terms of time, which you really should have, for the online courses. All right. Anyway, enough about the background for this week. Just a little bit of sharing of my observation. You really want to catch up, right? And don't be a stranger. If you got any trouble of learning the materials or try to manage your time even, please just get in touch. Drop by my office hour or just make an appointment if you are in a different time zone or you prefer other time. I'm happy to help, right? All right, let's now talk about week number 3 this week. So for this week, we're going to continue about the discussion of selections. This week I'm going to cover most of the remaining stuff. There might be 2 or 3 more topics which I really cannot fit into the 2 hours length this week, so I'll move them to next week. So still 2 hours, about 2 hours, as I said, plus minus 5 minutes. Okay, right. So let me just tell you very quickly what you're supposed to, what you can expect for this week for the lecture materials. And don't forget, all your lecture materials will be covered in both the, especially the written test that's coming up. And also for your programming test, of course, you also need to review the necessary concept. Otherwise, you just cannot write programs, right? So if you're already behind, I do encourage you to really catch up, as soon as you can. That's the sooner you can take actions, the better. All right. So for this week, we talk about basically logical laws about the 3 logical operators that we talk about: negation, conjunction, disjunction. And then we talk about something called operator precedence and also associativity. So these are easy topics, but you should know. All right, and then the next 2 videos, we talk about some interesting case studies for the if statement about if you have overlapping conditions, branching conditions, and also if you have nested if statements. I think these will be very beneficial for both your programming test and also your written test, right? And then we also talk about the scope of variables. So this can be also useful when you actually write your programs, to make sure you don't really write any program that's going to have the syntax or compiler type errors, right? And for some of the examples I talk about in the lecture, I did not include them in the projects, right? Remember, you can download a project for the example code. I did not include some of them intentionally. So you're really supposed to really write the programs yourself and experiment with them. That's you should really do the work to really to learn the stuff, right? I try my best to really give you all the insights into the theories and also the ideas, the technical insights. But to really write a program, I cannot write a program for you, right? So it's better that you do the practice yourself. And then, of course, always get back to me for assistance or for further understanding. All right, and then you got your notes for all the annotations. You can take a look. to really study that. And also for this week, we already released on Friday, I mean about 3 or 4 days ago, the week number 3 Java tutorial videos. As I said, they got 6 parts. So maybe over the weekend, you can always say before the lecture is released, you should always try to watch maybe the first 2 or 3 video chunks for your Java tutorial videos. You don't really want to only watch the 2 hours in one consecutive time interval. That's not the way to do it. All right, you got the slides. The slides are pretty much the same as last time, but it's going to be from 21 to 46. I also rearranged the order of the topics a little bit, so you just wanted to re-download the slides, right? Okay, and post your questions if you've got any on the Google Doc. And then you got the source code, same as last time, but also re-download them because I also updated some source code over there. And it's most important to do all the debugger exercises, which I mentioned in the lecture videos. You really want to get familiar with the debugger, because in your programming test and also maybe for your labs, whenever you get stuck, the best way for you to find out the defects in your software is by using debugger rather than just by using your eyes to tell the mistake manually. It's not going to work in larger scale. All right, and also for those of you who might be interested in extra practice, as usual, I suggest some extra videos for you to watch. It's optional. So this week it will be 18 and 19. So these 2 videos are to really show you more examples about nested if statement. So nested if statements. So this will be what you can get from there. All right, so that's about the study materials for this week. And then you can find it in the lecture site as always. All right, let me talk quickly about learning objectives for this week. So you're going to learn about laws for all the 3 logical operators. You're going to learn about nested if statements, and pay attention to when I actually introduce nested if statement, I don't just introduce to you how to write it syntactically. I also try to show you how you can reason about why having nested if statement might be equivalent in terms of the external output to its non-nested counterpart, right? So that's something you want to pay attention to. I really try to be thorough when I put the explanation there. All right, we talk about single if statements versus multiple if statement. So you want to really be able to tell syntactically, first of all. And then we'll try to do some case study about having either this or this. Does it really matter if the branching conditions are either overlapping or non-overlapping, right? So I will define in the lecture what I really mean by overlapping branching conditions, and then what the consequence might be if you actually got either single if statements or multiple if statements. So there are 2 dimensions you want to see. 1 dimension and 2nd dimension, right? You want to see how the case studies go. Okay, and then we also talk about the scope of variables, about where you can actually use the declare variable. It's also very important to see that last part of the video, of the lecture. And then as I try to really repeatedly demonstrate to you how to trace the code on both the paper or the code directly, or a visualizer, or using debugger. So that's really something I will keep emphasizing, right? About how to use debugger. It's really important. And this scale is not just specific to Eclipse. So many other IDEs for any other programming languages, they also support the idea about debugger. So this is really transferable scale. All right, what about the milestone for the coming week? You want to get ready for your programming test number 1. Okay, look at your calendar. It's about, so today it's a Sunday, January 27th. It's January 24th. Okay, and then your programming test is about 10 days away, about roughly. Okay, so you want to check your calendar over there to just to get ready. So we will make available to you some guidance and also some practice tests on eClass, so you can check it out on the announcement I make. All right, and also you want to get ready for lab number 3, and then you want to complete lab number 2, which was already released. Okay, and then you want to complete the weekly Java tutorial videos for week number 3. All right, and then also you want to complete a lecture series over here. All right, always do this first, and then do this. But I would say do maybe 2 to 3 videos a day. You don't want to watch everything in one day. That's not the way to go. So really plan your time to do a little bit of study for 1022 every day. All right, and then extra practice over here is going to be video 18 and 19 for the Java tutorial from winter 19. This one is optional. All right. So again, as I really try to having a dialogue with you, So this is an online course. It's really hard for anybody to push you to really do the work. So I would say you are the only person to really push you, right? You don't really want to only do the necessary study 1 day or 2 days before the actual tests. That's not the way to go, right? It's very detrimental to your learning, all right? And then, yeah, I think that's about it. As usual, my office door is always open during my office hour. Just zoom in if you got any questions. All right, off you go and do your work. Happy studying.